Once upon a time in the San Ho-Yo, Cap Manning and Frosty Warner started a little show about wrestling with comedy and some convo. And they call it Lingus, and now most of you know. After a whole year in it, now it's official. The Lingus Mafia proved that it ain't superficial. And right now, wrestling ain't the only issue, cause it's their anniversary. Tito, pass me a tissue. A lot of things happen over this annual, like Cav giving Frost an abortion, but that ain't tangible. Or in the graveyard, Tito giving up mandible, and Meat Twitcher had fools doing the hand manual. And we all know the cat, he's straight thugging, tearing up shit in the hood while mean mugging. Even Chase Tito, that fool be bugging, but then he rescued Amanda Berry after the mugging. Then Pete Gas gave it up to the show, and I fell on my ass when I saw that Santa's a cholo. At the All-Star, Kevin Foss throwing bolos, also Joey Ryan and Matt Hardy cutting the promos. But Kevin the dress looked like the sea hag. I had to take me a second dip up in my weed bag. Roll it up, light it up, toke it up with a long drag. And you know it's always pound, fuck your hashtag. Remember when Cav conversating that time when me and him did a crime and that bitch dropped a dime. Still my pocket's fatter than 10 Psy, and I'm plugging the Meat Twitcher again, the ass is prime. Word to Nick the Graves. I see you, man. They should give you that cardboard belt for being super fan. Tell Pope Lingus, put a spell on the clan. Have Bolex on your show for that theme, or else give me a grand. I'm just playing. You know you my Caucasians, and I throw up the L and the M with no persuasion. Season 2 going down like an invasion. Bout to pick up the cat and go jacking for the occasion. And Frosty Walnuts, only cause you my friend. I'ma do you a favor right now. What up, Gwen? And now I bet you got a big ass Kool-Aid grin. And cause of that, I'ma do it again. What up, Gwen? Gwen? Yeah, I'm a fool for this. And out of place, but it ain't worse than Cav skeeting up in his face. Just from the fury of beating up with some hate. Like you was watching them girls heated up in some lace. Them boys is animals, both belong in zoos. Crazy as I am, so I know they got loose screws. And I enjoy the skits better than the wrestling news. Cause to me that shit is fake as them 5,000 views.
Hell yeah, son, you better tell him. The mother with the motherfucking L lip. Yeah, son, you better tell him. The mother with the motherfucking L lip. Yeah, son, you better tell him. The mother with the motherfucking L lip. Yeah, son, you better tell him. The mother with the motherfucking L lip. Now lip, now lip, now lip.
Welcome to the Lingus Mafia podcast 10-year anniversary. Congratulations to us, Faust. And you know what? We're starting it the way we did before. No Greg. We told Greg, stay the fuck home. This is a 10-year celebration. Don't you understand? Don't you understand?
He didn't
10
come
years.
around until like
How many years? It was a few years, no?
yeah, well, he started doing his show, but he would pop on
He was
here and
guest.
there with us. He was just, remember, he would just sit in the sound guy.
Yes, it was a special guest host.
Yeah, it's Norse, yeah.
Yeah.
And he hosted.
Yeah, when one of us is gone or something like that. So it has been 10 years, and I'm still the boss of this family. I haven't been locked up or clipped yet. I'm Cav Manning. I'm along with my consigliere. That is Frosty Walnuts.
What do you hear? What do you say?
Already, Greg has broken the rule of the mafia, where mafia comes first, Faust. Over family, over everything,
Well.
as you well know, right? That's the rule. That's the rule of the mafia. If we call you while your mother's dying, we come first. That's the way it fucking is. His daughter is in the hospital recovering from a surgery and very successful. Congratulations, as he is a good daddy. That I said to him today, I go, I don't know many people that would have moved across the country with their. I don't know if you would have. I can't say I wouldn't think so, but I wouldn't think so.
Well, luckily he wasn't like across the country, but still very far.
It's not in the state. Faust, I don't know if you'd move where I am. If you go, I got to start working weekends again. I don't know. I'll visit. Oh, God. So, yeah, he is not here. We will be doing the show. There is a lot to talk about and go through. My God, there's quite a few fucking things to go over and go
He'll be
through.
back in time for next week, which is the annual extravaganza known as Miss Lingus.
Miss Lingus is up. Go to our Twitter. Just look for @Lingus Mafia. It is there.
I pinned the tweet.
You did, okay,
So just
for now.
go to our Twitter at Lingus Mafia, and the link is there to go to the survey, as you will, to vote.
Yeah, and you will be able to say like this, Faust. Look, I voted Miss Lingus. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful shirt that I'm wearing. So, yes, you could vote for Miss Lingus, and there'll be another ballot. And it's a lot easier this year because it's you click on a survey. You don't have to write back to anybody and wait for a ballot. You're just clicking it, and the next time there's a ballot, we will post it again. So have your alerts on at least for the next week for when, because we don't flood the Twitter anyway, so you guys won't be like bombarded. But spread it out there. We're trying to get as many as possible and break all these records. And I have Smoking Joe out there putting that thing out, and so hopefully people vote for Miss Lingus, and we will have the big extravaganza show next week, which will be a fun time.
And thank you to the 18 people on our Patreon. Not everybody on Patreon voted to whittle down the 100 to 16, and I don't blame them. Because after I was filling out the ballot for the first time, maybe I made a mistake in doing 100. We'll
figure it out even better next year when it comes to doing the whittling down part.
When you have to slide everything around and you're having to hold, I got 9 jacks. I got to scroll all the way to the bottom.
Faust, how dare you? How dare you?
But to those who did it on Patreon, we appreciate it. We whittled it down to 16. And it's an interesting 16.
I cannot wait to hear the order of the 100 next week because I don't know it.
Good.
I'm dying to fucking know the bottom. That's what I want to know, Faust, most of all. Like a gay man, I would like to know about the bottom.
And if you'd like, I could put people on blast saying, like, can you believe this person voted this person number one?
Faust, I demand it. I don't ask for it. I demand it.
Or
you'll be exiled.
That got first place votes that did not make the 16.
Wow. Faust, that's Vinny going with Masawa for number one fucking in wrestling. That's what the fuck that is. It's 100%. 10 years, Faust. We're going to fucking go through all of it. I'm going to mention fucking cat piss smelling Blarn too on our best shows. This week we should be putting out some of our best ofs, I think, on our channel. And put out the Blarn show, our first ever show, our 1A, whatever the fuck that was called, because it was so bad.
Yeah.
And what was the other one that was fucking great that we said? There was like 3 that we said, these are the fucking, it was like a top 3 countdown we were doing. It was Blarn, the number one.
I really love that Blarn show. That whole show.
That show's insane. It show's insane.
It just starts off, we're just casually talking. We're reviewing, I think Fastlane had just happened. We're on the road to WrestleMania. So it was like this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
You had just gotten dumped and he came on the show.
Faust, why you got to bring up?
Hey, things worked out in the long run.
I was going to say, which one?
Everything works out for a reason. And then he came on to tell one of his horror stories about
horror stories or horror stories.
And we went through all that, and then we were drinking as
Cut
we
the
go.
wheel.
And then once it got into like,
it should be a drunk show, I guess. Maybe that should be another one.
Which one?
The 13 shots.
Oh, that one. Yes.
That's another
Baker's
one. There
13.
You go. Baker's 13. And Faust as a pusher. You have to because it's just number 13. Who realized, Faust, that Caleb Williams would be on the way eventually?
It's 13. Great. Yeah, it's great because that show we start off. I think you said I think you said your record was 6, and that's what we were like aiming for.
And it was within the first 2 minutes.
And then it was like gone. A half hour. You're like,
half hour.
I don't feel anything. Let's do another one.
It was all fireball shots, and they were those long tubes.
Yeah.
And we killed that shit out. Had them lined it up. Yeah.
You went from I don't feel it to by the end of the podcast, you're like, I'm fucking numb.
And then the problem was that after the show is when the fun really happened.
Yeah.
Because I was throwing up after the show was done. And I remember Faust walking out the door, turning to me. You going to be all right? He's like, this might be the last show ever. You're going to find you drowning in your own puke afterwards, So, yeah, I was messed up. And the problem was, oh, you're fucked up? Okay, Cav, go post the show.
No, I posted the show, but once I got home, I realized I fucked up.
And you didn't have the file attached.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and it was
people
like...
People were like tweeting like, hey, the show's not there. And then I was like, hey.
And I'm like... And well, remember what the thing was? I was in between. It was either lock the door or go to sleep. I couldn't do both.
You had sent me a picture like you were in the hallway.
I was in the hall without pants, right? It was only shirt. I had
like that.
Dress shirt, no pants, black socks.
Right. You know, we could post like the best of show because I combined those two, and we talk about, you know, you're giving me shit like you should have just drove back and did it for me. And you're like, I had to get up, and you're like, I was sitting in the seat ass naked, and I'm like, wait, your butthole was sitting on this chair?
Like, listen, it wasn't your chair. You just happened to sit there.
Chair I was sitting on the following week.
Tell you to sit upside down like Mork.
Exactly.
But I was where the kitchen was right next to that dining room wherever the show was. So it would sit on the chair, and then it was leap over to the sink to puke. And that's when I sent you the voice message of, oh my God, I'm throwing up.
Which you didn't remember.
No, I didn't. But what's funny is I think I remember now because I think my head was on the desk and I hit the record to fucking talk. And I was just like,
throwing up.
I'm fucking dying. But yeah, that was the choice.
I have that on my phone still.
It was go to the fucking door or stay, and I couldn't do both. So I was like crawling to the fucking door, and I think I just laid in the fucking hallway and tried to sleep.
There we go. Let me see. February 3rd, 2015.
Wow.
I'm throwing up. Oh, God.
Oh, these things are gold, pals. God, what's bad for me is good for a show. Shit. But yeah, Blarn got in trouble with his roommate, which was the stupidest thing that he even, like, he let himself get in trouble with the roommate instead of going, who gives a fuck? Who listens to that show and get a sense of humor?
Great,
that's all he had to do.
Because you got him to shit on his co-host.
Yes.
What was his name?
Kyle.
No. The other co-host that he did the fucking
Ernesto?
Yes.
Nesto Pesto.
First, you got him to shit on Ernesto.
Did I have him shit on him? Because we liked Nesto.
No, we did, but you shit on him because, like, I think they did a show with, like, their producer or the guy who ran the NLOTGBN fucking network.
Yeah, the
GLBT. Nesto was, like, busting
Blarn's
balls on that show, and you were like, man, fuck Nesto acts like a big man and this and that. And
oh, boy, do I know how to stir a fucking pot.
And then you got into the Kyle.
And then I interviewed, after he stopped, like, he hated us afterwards, Blarn, I had Nesto on the show for an interview.
Yeah, remember we called
was
him
another
like, hey,
problem.
Are you free for a few minutes? And he's like, yeah, what's up? Like, yeah, can you come on the podcast? And like
he didn't know. Yeah, he didn't know he was in trouble with him. And oh, the fucking memories for us. Yeah, we will post that this week. I think that's a show to be posted this week for sure. Maybe Wednesday that will go out for everybody to hear what the fuck happened because woof, that's some fucking good stuff. So there isn't going to be a Fields Williams debate this week because we were 1 week fucking shy. And like,
Bears settled that debate.
Of course, they settled. The funny thing is, I was shocked. I'm shocked by anybody who didn't know this was happening.
Right.
I don't think that, like, I was willing to bet baby Jonathan $1 million fucking dollars. I told him, and you know, I can't bet him $1 million, but I said, I'll bet you $50. And he was like, no, he didn't want to. Because I'm like, it's guaranteed. The only thing I don't know is if they have the balls to have them both in training camp. So when someone gets hurt, they sell them off. But it's a bad idea to have a rookie and win. It would cause fucking shit. But fucking contract only. By itself, contract only, it was the move to do, and it was a fucking lock and a guarantee. So, like, all right, well, if his ceiling is what Fields was, because it seemed to be the Fields ceiling, if that's the fucking best they get, they still have now 4 years of that shit contract, and in 4 years get someone else. But I'm like, they are loading up, and I'm like, as the Bears like to win the offseason for me every year. Here we go. But I'm like, they really did the kid a disservice, Justin. I give 100% credit that they have done him a disservice. Was a lot of it his own fault? Yes, it fucking was. Because I watch the tape, I see guys wide the fuck open while he's, you know, doing a jig in the backfield to running for his life. And he ran for his life a bit. There was also he's not running for his fucking life where you didn't need to. And for the most part, a lot of quarterbacks all run for their lives, not to take off, but they're moving the fuck around a lot. And when I'm watching the Caleb tapes, which Baby Jonathan says he's going to be a bust, not even just not good, bust. I'm like, I feel so more comfortable if they take him and he's a disaster. I don't feel bad about taking him because everyone in the fucking world, other than like 4 fucking people, say to take him. And that he could be this generational fucking crazy shit because he did crazy shit. For the chance, that's fine. If he's good, I don't even say great, better than fair. If he's good, it's a fucking monstrous win. Because if he's pretty good, Faust, not pretty good, if he's pretty good, it's a fucking, they could go to the fucking Super Bowl with the fucking people they have. So, and with his fucking talent to be able to do all the shit that we see him in college where he's sideways fucking firing the ball. What I see mostly, of course, he's got problems. I don't say he's not going to have any interceptions this year. There's going to be problems, of course. It's a rookie. You got to learn, oh, well, I could do this in the other league, but I can't do that here now. And he knows he needs to work and all that. And it's not just, fuck it, I'm forcing it. I don't care. I'm not changing anything. That's a big fucking difference. But when I watch and I see his line is shit too, and his defense, of course, was real fucking trash. So he had to put up 40 a fucking game. This, he gets to rely on a fucking Swift for running and Roshan Johnson and Herbert there too. So there's a lot of that. They got 2 fucking monster tight ends, and now they got 2 monster wide receivers, and I'm hoping for like a Dunze to be thrown in that shit too. And so he doesn't have to go, I need to score 50. Or, it's like you score fucking 21, I think, and you're fucking 24, and you're real fucking safe, I think, with that team. So I'm watching, and guys are coming in 100 miles an hour at him, and he a nice old lay, and still doesn't even look at them, but knows they're coming and moving around, use the force a little bit. I said, that was the fucking difference. Justin was like, he'd see this and go, see ya, I'm out of here. And boy, was it fun to fucking watch, because that year that they barely ever won, that was a fun season to watch. It was the most bizarre losing season that I enjoyed so much because it was exciting as hell just watching him do shit. But Caleb is constantly looking down the field for something. And he does not do I need to make sure this guy is really open, which is a little scary for NFL, because if you might get grabbed a little bit, right? Because he's doing the thing where if you do have a fucking monster receiver, you got that Moss type of fucking guy or whatever, just throw it in that fucking area. Just in that fucking area. You don't need to dime them. Just around them. You go, now you go get it. Go fight. They're always taller than the corner in the first place. Let's just 3 on the fucking one.
When you got someone like Keenan Allen, that'll definitely help.
Yes, and he will always be where he's supposed to be. He's not going to be the fastest, but he will always be that route runner like a Jerry Rice, where it's be where you're supposed to fucking be. I like Foles did, where in the Atlanta game, I still remember it, where he says, if I'm in trouble, meet me at the L and the Falcon. He goes, that's where I'm putting the fucking, and the guy came in and he threw it to that fucking, and the guy right where he fucking, I go, it's a fucking veteran who you will be there. That's where I'm going to go with it. So, they need to get a veteran like backup to just sit around and like I hope like a Tannehill possibly, just to fucking not even play. You need a vet badly. Because I'm like, I have Rippin right now is the vet.
Oh, that's right.
Rippin and Bajent who would play. But you got to get a fucking guy who just sits around. Because that Nathan Peterman, who's in the Hall of Fame for a bank account, because he's just a lifetime, give me money and I will do nothing because I'm horrible. The Saints have him now, which I'm go. I was embarrassed when I had him because of that 5 interception game. I go, how do you have a job?
Who's left besides Jimmy Garoppolo?
Garoppolo's gone. I would have taken Garoppolo in a heartbeat.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he went to the Rams.
Yeah, I would have taken him in a heartbeat. It's Tannehill, and there was one more fucking guy in there that was one of those type of.
Where did Skinny Joe end up going?
He's still looking, but he wants to start. He ain't gonna fucking
sign somewhere.
I thought he's still looking around. From yesterday, I heard he was still looking around.
I thought I remember seeing him.
I know he wanted to stay in Cleveland, which is he's liked it there, but that's a good one for like I've seen all these defenses and here's what to fucking do. What was his name? Colt McCoy, maybe? He's fucking around, something like that.
He signed with the Colts.
Joe signed with the Colts
last week. Yeah,
last week. The hell was my radio telling me yesterday about? Last week.
Wait, they signed Flacco and Winston?
Seamus is on fucking the Colts? Are you looking at someone's Madden that they're fuck? I was busy with Madden yesterday, right? Because I'm trying the new one.
Yeah, he is on the Browns. They're both on the Browns.
Okay, why'd you say Colts?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Because I'm like, confused because Flacco went from the Browns to the Colts. That's what it is. And then they replaced
Flacco was on the Colts?
Winston. What's that?
Flacco was on the Colts?
No, he went to the Colts. He signed with the Colts 5 days ago, 1 year, 8.7.
See, you just said with the Browns, though. And I'm like,
no, I got
why'd you say Colts?
Winston signed with the Browns.
Okay. Now I understand. You have it separate. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was just saying, that's a
because I just saw the headline. It said, Winston is the better backup quarterback for the Browns. I'm like, wait, they're both there? That's why.
I would think so.
No,
he's the better. Sure.
Flacco left. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw an interesting stat I want to run by you. Quarterbacks drafted in the 2021 and 2022 draft. 19 quarterbacks. How many do you think are expected to start next season?
In what years?
21 and 22.
21 and 22. I'm trying to think who the fuck was even in 22. I will say Lawrence is in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lawrence is the fucking one. I'm like, to be drafted. Purdy.
Let's go down the list.
Yes.
All right, Trevor Lawrence. All right, he's going to start.
Yes.
Zach Wilson.
No.
Trey Lance.
No.
Justin Fields.
No.
Probably not.
No, probably not to start. I think they'll be like, even though Russ lost this competition, we kind of have to.
Yeah. Mac Jones.
Nope.
Kyle Trask.
Nope.
Kellen Mond.
No.
Davis Mills.
No.
Ian Book.
Nope. Never even heard of him.
Sam Ellinger.
No.
That was the okay. So there's the 2021 draft out of the way.
Wow.
So just the first pick, Trevor Lawrence.
Well, wasn't Trevor Lawrence in the Fields draft? Oh, we said Fields. Duh, I didn't even hear it. Go ahead. Yeah, we talked about it. Okay.
All right, so let's go to 2022.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett.
Nope.
Desmond Ridder.
Nope.
Malik Willis.
No.
Matt Corral. He's out of the league.
Oh, for the UFL, he's starting, Faust.
Billy Zappi.
Oh, Zappi. No.
Sam Howell.
No, because he's behind Geno.
Chris Oladokin. He's on the practice squad.
No.
Somewhere.
What about Mr. Hayner? He's in here.
Skylar Thompson.
Nope.
And the last pick, Brock Purdy.
Yes.
So there's two.
Where's Hayner?
That was last year.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, he was just, he's on the Saints too. I was like, because we know him. We were like, oh, good. Get him in there. So I'm playing the Madden deal, right? And it's a little tighter. 24 is a little bit tighter where it comes to you can't rob people. And I'm like, I'll offer you this and get a first round. You're like, fuck, I'm giving away my team for a first pick. You know,
is that where they have the bar and then you sprinkle in some draft picks?
I am sprinkling, and they're like, motherfucker. Because I got rid of, after the season was done, of course, I get rid of Fields and Eddie Jackson. And I go, well, instead of cutting them, Eddie's like an 84, so I'm going to try to get a first round. An 84 would not get you a first round. So I'm like throwing in, here's my sixth. Shit like this, right? And trying to move up. The best part about that game, which I'm very surprised by, is they were realistic to what happened prior in real life because the Bears had Carolina's first pick. You didn't. I think when you started the game, you could say, I want this shit. Like if you were a Carolina guy, you'd go, fuck this. I'm starting this game. But I did it properly. So who had the real picks were the real picks. And so I'm like, good. I need Carolina to suck. I'll tell you what happened, Fuss. So here's the thing. I don't want to play the game like I told you. I would like to just do GM, which is I'd like to do that. I like to do an off season and like to watch. I like to watch. And so I'm doing it, but you can't even just go, I want the controller in the middle and I'm going to let the coach and I'll fire the coach if he's shitty in his plays, whatever. No. And I go, these assholes at EA. So what do I said, the least thing I could do is play specific moments, because I feel if I play it, I'm going undefeated and, all that shit. But you don't want to have it on, like, I got to crank it on all Madden where I can't do anything, because I'm like, I keep it on pro. I just do normal. I don't put it on superstar, whatever. I'm pro. Let me play a fuck game. So I do this and I'm like, it's a 5-minute game and you're the fuck out, which is nice too. You go, okay, get me out of here. Weird things I was noticing, and I go, where the fuck is Sweat injured and more? And I'm looking on injury. I don't see them. And I go, what the fuck? They're not in the game, but they're like on the depth chart. I'm getting annoyed. They disappeared, and then I forget to look on the next game, like in between if they were hurt, and they're not there again. And I go, fuck, I forgot to look. And so eventually, like, I don't know where they disappeared to, but they're on the team. So I play Carolina and I'm beat them. And so I see, like, at the end of the season, I go, oh, they need to fucking lose this. They're in the playoffs by the 7th seat. And they're like 8-8.
Is Bryce Young a horse in the game?
I think he probably is. And I'm like, they're like 8-8, or they were 7-8 at the time. And they jump up to 8, and then they lose their last one, which I go, good, get them out of the fucking playoffs. Somebody needs to, all these other teams need to win, because they were middle of the pack for draft. And I'm like, get them fucking higher up here.
Yeah, at least top 10.
Yeah, give me a 10 here. And so I can work with this. And so they lose. They are 8-9, get in the playoffs anyway. And I go, you motherfuckers. So the Bears, I have them in the playoff, but I'm like I think I'm 6 or 5, one of these. So I get to go on the road. And the thing is, I played Atlanta was the number 1 seed and the Bengals were the number 1 seed. And so I play the Falcons the second to last game and get killed by them too. And I'm like, because I go, we'll see how good they are. But when you're playing only moments, you're down. You can't. Yeah. You're like, all right, well, I'll get within 14 at one point. So lose to them. They're the number 1 fucking seat. And now it is, I'm playing, I think I play fucking Philly. I played Dallas first. Beat Dallas, because Dallas always goes to the playoffs and lose. I end up playing Philly second. But the fucking Falcons are playing the 49ers the first game. I go, thank you, goodbye. They beat the 49ers. And I said, what the fuck? Now they have to play the number 1 seat. From their division. They barely snuck in the fucking playoffs. Atlanta's lost 3. Okay. They beat fucking Atlanta. And I beat Eagles. So now it's me, Carolina, to go fucking, and I go, these motherfuckers, I gotta fucking beat the shit out of them. I already beat them this year once. I fucking lose that. The Carolina Panthers are in the fucking Super Bowl against fucking Cincinnati. Are you kidding me? So
are you kidding me?
They get killed in the Super Bowl, thank God. So now I have pick fucking like 28 and 32. I'm like 31. I'm like, fuckers. Yeah. So I end up trading people to get to 9. I get in there. And then I trade to jump up to 6 because they show you mock drafts, which is nice. And I keep seeing that Caleb is good to go second. And my whole thing is I want to get Caleb now. So, but it looks like his stock has dropped. And so I'm like, okay, stock has dropped. And now
does it actually have lower. Caleb's name or is it his number?
I have all the, I do a thing you could do a Madden share. And it's all the people from the real draft. So I'm looking at Harrison and all this
something that somebody created. Like
but it's for the community, apparently. So, and it's like, oh, this one's downloaded the most. You use them.
Yeah.
So I'm going through.
It's like, so EA doesn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
They're like,
now they will be.
We didn't create these people.
Yeah. Now they will be. So, because the new college game, which I will be then importing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, all right, I move up to 6 and I'm worried because I keep trying to get to like 3 or something like that. I tried to get to 2 and they were trying to rate me and I couldn't. So I then got to 3 and I'm like, I could get to 3 and I didn't have to give as much. And they moved back 3 spots, shit like that. So I was like trying to leap. I ended up getting Caleb and I'm watching it. I'm like, I wonder how far some of these people, like Harrison Jr. got to 10 for the Giants. I was like, fuck, that's far. They don't know, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm waiting down. And so now it's my time where it's one of the last ones. And I go, well, since I have these 3 picks, I'm going to give away this one, see what I could get. See if I could get next year's pick this. I come to a lot of people offering shit. The Niners are offering me next year's first too. And I go, shit, all right, I'm almost in the second round and I could get a second, this and that. So I'm scrolling through, looking at everything, and then I decide on the Niners and I click it and it goes, it's expired. You can't, the deal is off the table. And I go, what are you talking about? So I back out and I'm on the clock and I go, what? So I go to click because I'm writing down each person. So I look at what everybody got.
Yeah.
I go, I get a guy. I get a fucking receiver of some sort. And then I go, all right, well, I have my other pick. I'll trade that one then. Mm-hmm. So I went to go do that one. I go to trade the 49ers again. I didn't pick a receiver. I saw I was on the client. I went back in and I trade then the Niners and I get next year's first and this and that. And then I come out. Apparently I was around a little too long and my time ran out.
So you pulled the Vikings?
I pulled the Vikings. I was so pissed. After all of that time and work.
Oh, man.
And so sucks. I'm trying to go into the game to see it auto-picked. It didn't even pass me because I would still always be my turn. And I go, who the fuck? I'm trying to look back. I go, who did they fucking get? It was too much off-season I dealt with already, though. I can't do it.
That's why you always save before you draft.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So I'm looking and I go, fuck. And so I go through this whole fucking draft and I can't go backwards to see who have I gotten. I don't know not to get a certain person because you might have already gotten that same position. So I get a receiver later. I'm like, all right, I need another receiver. I'm getting all this shit. Faust ended up getting like 5 receivers in the fucking draft because it auto-drafted me a receiver.
Oh, man.
And they drafted a guy I have said is my sleeper pick in this year's draft for real.
Oh, really?
Adonai Mitchell. That's how you know how it'd say his name. It's Adonai. That's how it's like spelled. Adonai Mitchell. And I keep hearing people say like, he's going to be right next to Harrison. It's like that sleeper fucking monster of a guy, and he grabbed that ball and all that shit. So I'm like, fuck, they picked my guy. Like,
what school is he from?
Texas.
Oh, okay.
So he's right with that guy who's the fastest ever. He's next to him, who changed his draft stock just from being fast.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so
I imagine
Al Davis
in the grave.
Fucking his corpse reach up. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that was man, that could be fucking good. So that's where I am in that fucking game. But I was like, all right, I go change Caleb's number and give you 13 here. Here's gonna be the interesting thing in real life. Who gets number 13? Scott on the Bears, rookie, just was a rookie. He has it. He's a receiver. It's not even in the question of if he's allowed to keep it. It's automatically he's going to get it gone. Somebody going to give him a couple bucks.
Yeah.
Because Keenan Allen and Caleb Williams both take 13. What do you do? Caleb's there longer. He's going to be there longer, although the other guy's like a Hall of Fame looking, it's like, listen, they might sign Allen for an extra year, but this is going to be who wants to pay for this fucking number. But I think the guy's going to be the quarterback for the fucking he's got to fucking have that fucking thing.
There's a
help him out.
Backup catcher for the Giants. He was a rookie last year. And then this offseason, I forget who the Giants signed somebody, and he had the player's name's Blake Sable. And they're like, oh, Sable's got that number. Sable's like, all right, you can have it. So he switched to another number. Then they sign somebody else. Hey, can I have that number? So he's changed
great.
his number like twice during the offseason.
Oh, God. Let's go. We're going to go over to the other side. I got to tell you of a quote-unquote email that I sent Impulsive and KSI, Faust. I have to tell you about this. Also, we will talk about some golf because we played golf. Thank you. This weekend. And we will be talking about Lexi Nair, the movie of the week, The Dark Crystal. Boy, Faust, I'm really in my element when it comes to reviewing something. The notes I have.
I can't wait.
Oh, Faust, I'm brilliant when it comes to it. When it comes to having names for people, I have brilliance in my veins, Faust. Just don't drain my essence, and I'll continue to give you. Thank you. You have to watch a movie to understand that. Remember, vote Miss Lingus. Vote for Pedro. Vote for Pedro.
No, you're wild.
Hey, you vote for me. One of my favorite race, Faust. We will be over on the other side of patreon.com/Lingus Mafia. If you guys want to get in, you can watch it in living color and you could see it, and your pleasure will always be here. So that's it. We'll see you over there, motherfuckers.
I am Dante.
What? You haven't signed up to patreon.com/Lingus Mafia yet? Not only will you get the second half of this show on time on Tuesdays, you could also go back in our history for over 500 plus shows, like episode 202, where we give you the shitty rundown and the aftermath of our trip to WrestleMania in New Orleans. All of you were there, and I am the only one who knows this. He shit on the entire fucking floor.
Oh,
No.
How about the history of every NFL team? Welcome to the history of your favorite NFL franchise from the Lingus Mafia podcast. I'm Cab Manning. This is where I'll give you the history of each NFL team in existence. Every team will have their own episode to shine, from winning it all to having fans wear paper bags over their head because they're embarrassed of their team. So let's get on with the show. This episode, the Chicago Bears, the Miami Dolphins, the Indianapolis Colts. How about Gregorio specials? A night at the Oscars.
Welcome to the Lingus Mafia's Night at the Oscars. I go back in time and reevaluate past winners for Best Picture from the Academy Awards.
You want music? How about on holidays we give you our playlist with a twist?
Happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. Good morning.
This is your underboss, Greg Norris, coming at you with a super sexy playlist.
This is K. Robbie's Super Sounds of the Lingus. Boy, I'm hella stoned, and this song is very fitting.
What do you hear? What do you say? This is Fausty Walnuts. And this is no longer 91.9 The Ledge. This is 91.9 The Lingus.
So get on over to patreon.com/Lingus Mafia and see what you've been missing.